Welcome back to Startups with Stu, where we talk about what it takes to take your startup to the moon. Today's guest grew up in Jersey watching lifestyles of the rich and famous, and then quietly went out and built exactly that life for himself. He didn't come from money. Sam DeMaio is the founder of Showcase Remodels, a remodeling powerhouse doing $17.6 million in revenue with 75 plus employees, 48 rental properties, and a new product company disrupting the one-day bathroom industry nationwide. He built all of it while working as a cop, running the National Guard on weekends, and flipping houses on the side. And by the way, he doesn't just flip houses for anyone, he's done it for NFL superstars. He bought his first duplex at 19 years old and never once thought about quitting. Sam, welcome to the show, buddy.
Startups with Stu is a podcast for anyone living or wanting to live the startup life, either as a founder or a team member. Your host, Stuart Draper, was a 9-time Inc. 5000 honoree before age 40. This show dives deep into the exhilarating world of entrepreneurship with guests that are seeking advice from Stu for their startup or business owners that want to share their entrepreneurial journey. Listeners always walk away with actionable ideas of what to do to take their startup to the moon. Startup life can feel like a roller coaster ride, and with Startups with Stu, you're likely to turn your roller coaster ride into a rocket ship ride. Get ready to uncover the secrets to startup success from visionary founders and savvy investors who've transformed groundbreaking ideas into thriving ventures.
Welcome to another episode of Startups with Stu, where we talk about what it takes to take your startup to the moon. And today with us, we have Mr. Sam DeMaio. Did I pronounce that right, Sam?
Close enough as DeMaio. DeMaio, you say tomato, I say tomato.
Okay, DeMaio. It's so good to have you with us, hailing from Florida right now, right?
Yeah, so right now we're in New Jersey, South Jersey, North Wildwood, but we're pretty much all over.
You're all over the place. Jersey boy. Okay, I love it. So Sam and I have some mutual friends. I saw him hanging out with Jeremy Barker, and so I reached out. I've had Jeremy Barker of Murphy Door and Dennis Yu on the show previously. If you haven't heard those episodes, go listen into those, as we may mention those two folks throughout parts of the show today. But today we're going to talk about Sam and his incredible business, Showcase Remodels. So Sam, tell us about your new, your existing and flourishing business.
Yeah. So I'll give you a quick background on me, just so you get an idea. I grew up, blue collar. My dad was a plumber, had his own plumbing business. He was a one-man, I call him Chuck in the Truck, business where he operated. He did every facet of the business, the marketing, the sales, the installation, you name it, he did it. He wore all the hats, and he had a helper. So growing up in that type of family, I got the one thing I got out of him is his work ethic was like no other. He instilled hard work into me. And, I went to Catholic school my whole life, joined the Army when I was 17 years old. So I was in Fort Knox, Kentucky. I was a Cavalry Scout. My life expectancy on the battlefield was about 13 seconds. I picked that because I figured, hey, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go all in and pick something I'm going to really have fun with. So from there, 19 years old, my junior summer, I did the boot camp. That was cool. My senior summer, I did the advanced training back in Fort Knox. Went right into Camden County Jail. I was stuck in Camden County Jail for 5 years, but I was not an inmate. I was a correctional officer. So I just want to make that one clear. And bought my first duplex at 19 years old. And why did I do that? It goes back to my father. My father was very, very strict. So 18 years old, I thought I was getting a birthday present. I got a bill for $100 a week. I said, hey, I get a birthday. No. You owe me $100. I said, for what? For rent. So $100 a week, I'm paying rent. So I was excited to get my first duplex. I'm like, hey, I bought it for $82,500. My mortgage was $750. I'm sorry, my mortgage was $850. I rented the top unit out for $750. I was going to rent the bottom unit out for $750. But then I said, hey, Dad. My dad's asked me how much I'm making. He goes, you have to split it with me. I said, I got to split it with you. I'm thinking I'm getting out of debt, with him, with the 100 a week. And here I got to split so I left. I left the house, moved into one side. And, it was way before YouTube, way before ChatGPT, way before all these things. I wanted to learn how to do the construction because honestly, at that time, working at the jail, I couldn't afford it. I was making $16 an hour. There's a growth chart, 5 year, 50 grand, that was the top level at that time, $50,000. So I went to learn. So what I did was I went to Home Depot. I bought a book. It's Home Depot 123. It was $34.95, and I learned how to do construction. So I kind of knew already how to do plumbing, but I learned the different trades, electrical. I learned a little bit of carpentry, all that fun stuff. And then once I did that, I basically took that business and rolled it into doing construction. I started a construction business. We did a lot of insurance jobs. I built that up to about maybe 12 employees. That was with my cousin. And I learned I was supposed to just be the money guy. I ended up being the guy who was the money guy. I also had the good credit, and we were supposed to flip houses. And then from there, I started Showcase Flooring. From there, I started a little flooring store in a basement, grew that thing to where, hey, we're busy. I had, 2 full-time employees. I had a bunch of rental properties. I'd buy a house and had like maybe 3 rental properties. And then I went all out. So from there, what I ended up doing was I left the police department with 10 years in. I had 10 years in the police department.
Wait. Bro, you're telling me that everything you just did, you did while you were still in the police force?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I went from the jail for 5 years, and then Gloucester Township Police. I was there for 5 years as well. And I did everything at nighttime or during the day. So I hustled nonstop.
I got to dig in here. We're double clicking on this one. Okay, so
oh, yeah.
I think that a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs think that you either have to go to a place of like, I am all in on entrepreneurship, or I work 9 to 5. I can't do both. That's what people think, right? And I think that's wrong. I think there's a lot of stories, Jeremy's included. Jeremy did was a fireman and did that for I think it was a 5-year stint at the beginning of starting Murphy Door that he stayed as a fireman before he finally quit and went all in on it. So Absolutely. You did a bunch of other things on the side. It was all side hustle?
All side hustle. I worked a full-time job. Then I did the National Guard. So I had that 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in the summer, plus full-time at the jail and then full-time at the police.
No time for sleep, and who cares? You didn't need it, right?
Yeah, sleep when you're dead.
That's funny. Okay, bro. So how did you do that? Give everyone some tips. I think it's smart on one hand to just simply pick a career path where it allows for a little bit more entrepreneurial endeavors if that's what you want to get into. But tell us about some of the things you did to manage making that happen, because I think more people need to be considering that as an option to get into entrepreneurship.
Sure. So I read a great book called Good to Great.
Yeah.
And with Jim Collins. And in that book, I learned that, hey, it's bullets before the cannonballs. So it's kind of you can go all in, but that's a scary route. I kind of did it. I call it semi-scary route where, hey, I tried it out. I really liked it. It was my passion. Designing houses and designing kitchens and learning stuff has always been my passion. I'm a big dork, so I like to read. So I'll always be, stuck in a book and don't watch TV at all. Even though I do all the Eagles players, Philadelphia Eagles football players, I do all their houses. I couldn't tell you one thing other than this guy's good, this guy's funny, this guy's whatever, and we have fun with it. So I connected with those guys, and they've been a blessing for me. They really have, because I have nonstop work no matter what all the time. So again, when you have a full-time job, you have that career coming in, you kind of get stuck in that, used to being, having that money coming in guaranteed. When it starts to become on you, you got to invest all you, and you start to see, hey, it's working. That's when you dial it in, double down, and start to work it out.
That is genius, man. I love those points that you're making. That I was expecting you to be like, well, what I did was I would finish the job at this time, or during my lunch break I would do that. But instead you're like, actually I read books, and it's like, wait a minute, that's more time. So now you have your job and your side hustle and and I studied, and what I did to make it all work was I studied, I read, and it's like I think there's so much motivation that comes from reading other people's stories and going, I can apply that. Cool, I can apply that. But man, what a cool perspective to have. Okay, so let's get back to the story. You finally decide it's time to go all in and stop doing the police force after 10 years, right?
Oh yeah. So other side note is I end up getting divorced that little time. So hey, things that you basically you go into the ground into the dirt, you think you're at your darkest spot in your life. Absolutely not. That's when that seed was planted, that fire was planted, and I basically built the foundation and worked as hard as I could from day and night. So what I did is I had $30,000 to my name, right? Actually, it was 20. And I just left the police department. I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I had my business going. We were making about the same money, probably about $90,000 a year, right? But I was making 90 and 90. So I kind of bet on myself. I said, let me go all in because I know with the police department, you can only make 150. Chief might make 180, and that's it a year. And that's not me. I knew for a fact that I knew what I wanted. I had way more drive. I had way more goals. I had way more things that I knew I wanted to tackle, and I wasn't scared at all. So even though people were making fun of me, like, you're crazy, you're going to lose your job and this, lose your benefits. I said, I wasn't worried about that. Not even a little bit, sink or swim mentality. I'm going to swim every single time. There's no way that I'm going to go down. And if I do, guess what? I'm going to get right back up, shake my knees off, get myself ready and right back in it. Right. So the guys that lose, I call them losers. They just quit. The guys that win, they lose, but they get up and they keep going until they win. And that's what I did. So I got a call from a realtor. I kind of knew a lot of people in real estate. A lot of realtors knew me from, doing flips and buying rentals. I bought my first one. I went there and it was a single family house. It was in Glendora, New Jersey. I bought it for $30,000. And obviously it's a different market now, but I always say you can still get deals like that. We'll talk about that later. But I went there. The lady wanted $50,000. She was a hoarder. The toilet didn't work. There was poop stains and diapers, and it's on my Facebook. If you go way, 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 way back, you go on my Facebook, you'll see the toilet stain, the hand stain with the poop on there, and all kind of nasty stuff. But listen, sometimes you just got to get down and dirty to make money, and that's what I did. So I bought that house for $30,000. At that time, I had one employee, so it was me and him. And I didn't have no money to fix it up. So every week, if I had extra money, I would go to Home Depot, buy some material. I'd go work on the house. Nighttime, if I had, after work. And again, I was one of those guys like, hey, it's 4:00. We're done. Nah, that wasn't me. It's like, hey, we're going to go until we fall over. Like that was my mentality. 7, 9, 10, whatever it was, we're going to get it done. So, to have that, mentality and have that drive to do that and to have a guy with me right by my side. And he was from Honduras, and literally, he didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. Now we know we speak each other very fluently. He's with me for 20 some years. I brought his whole family over. We all work together. We're a big team. I have over 75 employees now, but it started with him. Maybe he stuck with me because he was the only one that could hang because he didn't understand what I was saying. And he didn't realize how crazy I was. But sometimes you have to be crazy obsessed to get where you're going. So when I put that extra 30 grand into the house, and it took me 6 months. And when I tell you, I build houses faster than I remodeled this tiny house because it took me 6 months. I put total $60,000 into it. I sold it for $125,000. Now I had money to buy my next flip. My next flip, I bought it for 70, put about 30 into it. I sold it for $170,000. Then that was my model. That became my model. I did that for 2 years, 2.5 years. I did 17 houses that next year of buy for 70, put 30, sell for 170. In between doing my regular construction jobs, which I was learning. So I learned as I went. I knew I was way too cheap. I started to, increase my pricing. I understood I could buy nicer trucks. Now I could hire better employees. Now I could give people things that normally they couldn't have, right? So in doing so, I flipped 2 houses, buy 1 cash. Flip 2 houses, buy 1 cash. Now I own over 48 properties, all rentals that I collect, and that's my financial freedom. I could stop there. I don't. I keep going. I want to make sure that every rental pays for everything that I have. All the cars I have, and I pretty much have every car that you could possibly think of. My house is paid for. Right now I'm at the beach, our beach home. We're doing our master bathroom. It's right on the ocean. And again, I, as a police officer, I never dreamed of having stuff that I have. I've never dreamed of being in some of the rooms that I'm in, and I'm just blessed. I mean, I always say, there's a higher power God's out there, and I went to Catholic school, so I 100% believe in that. But I can tell you, anything that I manifested, I get it every single time. Not one thing that I haven't wanted, haven't I got? And it's just been a blessing. It's it's been hard. It's every day is another challenge, but I take challenges head on, and I'm not scared to run it over.
Dude, what a ball of energy you have, bro. It's so fun to listen. It's so fun to listen. And I think some people would watch this or listen and go, I don't have what Sam has. And guys, you gotta soul search that a little bit and ask yourself, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I get worried, by the way, listening to like the Gary V sometimes, who want to speak. They're speaking to a specific audience, but it feels like it's for everybody. And it's not for everybody, because not everyone has the X factor stuff that Sam has innate. And I think it's awesome that you have learned about yourself that you can manifest things, and then you're going to just go work and find a way and you make it happen. Call it self-prophecy, call it the hand of God. Sam, I'm a firm believer that God had a plan for you, and that's why he gave you some of the gifts and talents he gave you, because think of how many lives you've now been able to bless by the jobs and housing that you've been able to provide. It's really neat. So congrats on that. I love hearing it, and I love that perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the Showcase Remodel thing is a brand direction where you're like, remodels, that's me, that's what I do.
Sure.
Are you thinking to yourself like, the sky's the limit with what I can do with just that, so I'm going to stay in that game? Or are you looking at
no? Yeah, so once I get to the top of the tree, I'm jumping and looking at the other tree, and I'm going to start climbing up that one too, right? So I never get complacent, no matter what level I'm at. I always respect everyone, that's already either starting up or it's already made it. But I'm my own mission, I'm my own statement, I'm my own person, right? So I know Showcase, and again, I think starting to network with people that have broader minds. Because again, if you're stuck in New Jersey in a certain town, there's only so many people that you realize that, hey, look, they're doing really well and that's their goal. But as you start to talk to people from different states, different countries, you start to go some of these different masterminds, you really understand that, hey, I'm thinking really small. Mm-hmm. And I need to start thinking big, right? So I think my first podcast was Tom Reber. He's an awesome, awesome man. He's big with the contractors. They're like, I think like startup contractors to like $1 million. Like that's his sweet spot. Maybe it's 2 million. Everything he says is great. He wrote me on Facebook. He goes, man, you've been following me for a while. What you do, I see your jobs you do. They're very unique. And I started telling him what I do. He's like, I'd love to have you on my podcast. I'm like, cool. I don't even watch podcasts. I didn't know what it even was at that time. So I did it. And then, a short while later, I told him how I operate, my 42-point checklist for my house flips, my 17-point checklist for my kitchens. And people were starting to write me, can you coach me? Can you do this? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a coach. The only people I want to coach is my team. I'm trying to build up. I'm using, Gino Wickman's Traction. I read that book, and that's what I was focused on. So I had no time for the outside noise, and there was a lot of them. I would say over 150 people wrote to me right after that little podcast, which was huge. So my respect for Tom Reber. I still support him. I still go to his events. People are like, why are you here? You're too big. I'm like, no, brother, you're never too big, and you never can not learn from somebody else that's just starting, because their drive is going to be different from your drive, and they're a new drive. It's like a new blood, so they're going to find things that maybe I missed, and that's what I go for. And plus, again, I like to. Hey, my mission statement for Showcase Remodels is get it, give it. That means you get it yourself and you give it to somebody else, and that's at work with the employees, the lead carpenters, the plumbers, and then their assistants. You get it there and you give it to your assistant, right? But that's also true in life. So when you get something, you get blessed by working hard, and you're making money. Money's not the most important thing. Self-respect, respecting others, and giving to others, and giving those things that maybe they weren't, able to afford themselves, but they need and they deserve it. And maybe they're in a position where they can't work for whatever reason. I'm able to do that, and I love to do that, because again, that gives me something that money can't buy, because money can't buy everything. Those people happy, seeing other people happy, that's my why now, and that's what we do.
That's a common theme among those that have found a way and made it, is that they actually got a lot more satisfaction out of the work they were doing when they were providing jobs, when they were seeing customers truly happy and satisfied with the end results, that meant so much more to them than just making a buck. So have you ever sold a business yet, by the way, Sam, or have you always held everything so far?
A couple things when I was young, 2 games. Monopoly was my number one game. I got a tattoo on my arm, Monopoly, right? And second thing is, when everyone was watching cartoons, my dad would say, Sam, what are you doing? I would watch, what's his name? Robert Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. That's what I was watching Saturday mornings. I wasn't watching anything else other than that. So, I've never sold a business. I like to keep everything. If it was my way, we probably wouldn't have as much money. I have to give a lot of credit to my wife because she's like, Sam, we have to sell it because I bought a hotel down here in North Wildwood. It's called the Showboat. It's 8 units. I'm like, we're going to rent it. She's like, no, not we're going to rent it. I'm going to have to, she's going to have to rent it. She's like, I am not renting those. We already have enough rental properties. We're good. So I'm like, all right. So I bought that again for, not to sidetrack you, but my ADHD. Bought it for $1 million, put 700 into it. 12 weeks I was there, 12 days. So in the summertime, every Friday, sold it for 3.2 million after I made a condos. So, that's one of those things where, hey, you learn, you level, and you keep rolling with it.
What's the most you've brought down in 1 year now?
So last year we did just my Showcase Remodels business. We did $17.6 million in gross revenue. I like to pride myself on still being able to make top level bottom line revenue. However, I started a one-day bathroom company because we already did bathrooms and custom bathrooms, like super custom and basic too. But we wanted to kind of appeal to people that are aging in place, that we want to compete with some of these other companies that their product to me is absolutely garbage and ugly. And I never talk negative. It's just I wanted to do it. So I brought the material home. My wife goes, we are not selling that to our customers. I'm like, what do you mean? These guys are doing all these bathrooms. I'm like, we are not doing that. And then I started writing other companies, and the one company is pretty big, national brand, and they denied me. And I wrote back. I said, hey, just what do I need to do? Maybe we can hop on a call. I'd like to know how much revenue you need me to get to so you would consider me. And they wrote, we'll keep your number on file. And I wrote back, hey, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. Hence my new company, which I just told you about, which is Signature Reflections. So over the last 3 years, again, I'm a researcher. Before I even started my one day, I researched it for a year and a half. Again, I go to different events, and some of the takeaways there, you might not get it from the speaker. You might get it from the guy sitting right next to you. It's exactly what I did. I went to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery. My wife doesn't believe in them. She goes, oh, we do all this, we do all that, and we do. And listen, it was good, but it was, to me, it's like business basics. However, you're in rooms with people that are doing way more than you. I happen to become really good friends with a guy who imports, doing $240 million a year in revenue. He gave me a bunch of pointers on how to build out a manufacturing, how to become the distributor, how to do patents, all that fun stuff. And finally, now we're launching, and we did a soft launch ourselves in our Showcase Remodels. I tested out for over a year and a half. Now we have our own product line, which I'm going to be very exclusive on who I do business with. It's going to be bathroom only contractors that are good people, that do good business, do good things for their customers. That money thing's important, but not the spreadsheet. So all these PE companies that all they do is try and bust that number with their spreadsheet, that's no more. That's gone. All I want to do, I want people build culture up. You got to see the culture that we build in Showcase. Our team is so solid. And I took everyone from every company that's a national brand. I took the number one salesman. I took the number one salesman from another company. I took the number one operations guy that I thought from another company. Now we're building that part up so strong that, we can't be beat. You're not going to be able to beat me now. Unfortunately, I tried, but now I'm ready to attack. And guess what? We're going to do a lot more just for the customer. Because again, if you make it about a spreadsheet, you can only go so far. Just like Renovo, $1 billion company last year, bankrupted. Why? All they cared about was that spreadsheet. What do we care about? The customer, sure. But more important than the customer is the employee. If you have a happy employee in a house and he's doing big things, and we do things together as a team every day, we do. Maybe we're not together doing it, but we're together doing it on some kind of Slack or some kind of WhatsApp app. We do it every day as a team. We know who's doing well, who's kind of, sitting back a little bit, and everyone pushes themselves. And they either push themselves to do better or they push themselves right out the door.
What's the most one of your employees has made in a year?
350,000.
Let's go. And that's like someone who never dreamt of making 350 grand.
Oh, that was his first year, by the way, too. That was his first year with me.
Oh, okay.
But he was a baller coming in, and he took a shot with me. So it's one of those deals where everyone's like, "Hey, dude, you're crazy for doing that, but good luck, good luck, good luck." And now he's at the top, and they're going, "Hey, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you do this?" Now they're hating on him. You know what I mean? So what went from everyone, his biggest cheerleader, literally in 2 years, now they're like, "Oh yeah, he's a jerk. He's this. He's that." But guess what? At the end of the day, they're all calling us now because we build a culture up where they know now what we can do. They know now how we do it. I'll show you exactly what we do. And guess what? Try and do what we do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not easy. It's not for everybody.
One of the things that I want you guys to pay attention to with Sam is that he keeps investing in himself and his people. He doesn't tire of that. And then he doesn't tire of the type of work he's doing because it's passion work, which means it's not really work. He's not working a day in his life. He's just having fun doing the stuff that he like really wanted to do as compared to the work he had to do when he was in the police force. Right. So, and by the way, thank you for your service there and with our
Absolutely.
nation. So,
yes, sir.
Okay, bro, I try to add value with every episode, not just for my listeners, but also for my guests that come on the show, Sam. And I got one here, bro. So
awesome. Love it.
This is an ad I saw the other day. You can't see it very well on screen, probably. Let's see, because of the lighting. But this is a picture of a backyard. On this side is the one that Google satellite view had. Okay. On this side is the view of the AI drawing of a pool where that satellite view was. And what this bro did is he built an OpenClaw agent that sells pool installations on autopilot. He finds $500,000 to $1.2 million homes without pools in their backyard using Google Earth. And then he renders a pool in their backyard and mails a before and after postcard. Dude, that was like mind-blowing idea for me. Like the idea that you could get the AI to get so sophisticated that it goes and hunts the images, takes the image, auto creates a potential pool in the backyard, and then knows the address and sends snail mail with that on it. I was like, bro, 2026, the amount of new opportunity that exists for those that get ahead and understand, for the blue collar that can think white collar and dream this stuff up or hire the right people, bring the right people around them, as you've mentioned you're able to do. That stuff is going to change the game. So one idea I had for you with remodels, you could do the rooftop and show like, hey, we could add a whole section to your house right here, but also some of this could get a little creepy, so you have to be careful. But like with Zillow, right, you can get inside pictures of what their bathroom currently looks like and do your bathroom in a day thing where you show like a before and after for them.
It's genius.
Isn't that freaking genius?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's so funny you say that, because when customers would call me, I would always look up because I had the ML access, because I know a lot of realtors. I could see all their pictures. So I could do square footages. I'll give you the price over the phone right now already, right? So we use one program where I could send a customer a link. They could do the measurements, or some of the time the measurements actually on the Zillow post or the MLS. I'll pull their stuff. I'll start describing their bathroom like, how the hell do you know that? You know what I mean? Just one extra thing. But OpenClaw has definitely been huge. I kind of mess with right now more Claude. And I was doing co-work, which is cool. I actually started finally after like 2 months, the computers just all of a sudden taking over, right? And I started building out my Google PPC, Google, all my different landing page, everything. But I feel like Claude Code is one of those things where co-work's great. It doesn't really tell you what it does. It could break some stuff, and it does the work though. If you do Claude Code, you can connect everything that is broken and make sure that it goes the right way. But I love that idea. I think that's phenomenal. I'm gonna let my buddy know out of California. He's got a $20 million pool company. I met him at Alex Hermosi's first event. Super cool guy. So
if you
that's
want,
huge.
I'll text you that image so you can text it on to him, and
yeah,
we can get him on the show too. But this has been so inspiring. One of my things that I did young while I was working out in the morning before I'd get into my daily grind, building getfoundfirst.com and stewkent.com, was I would listen to podcasts. And as I listened to the stories of founders, I would take away the little bits of knowledge and information and like things they did that kept them going or got them going. And shows like Masters of Scale with Reid Hoffman is one I recommend. Guy Raz has How I Built This. And those podcasts, you can learn a lot from hearing the stories. And I hope today, as you've listened to Sam DeMaio, you guys, you have found that there are a lot of takeaways here. Some that I reiterated for you and others that I hope you read between the lines for how you can apply it to your business. So Sam, as we get ready to close this episode, there's two things I want to do. First is how can we, as your listener base, and fan base now, how can we help you out? Is there anything we can do for you?
So, I mean, as far as what you can do for us is, hey, always set your goals. My little tip to you is write down all your goals, put it right in your bathroom mirror. Make sure you look at that in the morning. Make sure you look at that before you go to bed. And, I would definitely appreciate anybody who wants to follow me and kind of see my story go. We're right on, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. So it's under Sam DeMaio. It's SamDemAio. And if you want to see our business, it's Showcase Remodels, spelled out just like that.
Awesome. And then, go check out Sam. Go follow him. He is a fun follow. Sam, what does it mean to you to take your startup to the moon?
So for me, I mean, it's a little different. My original goal was 10 rental properties. I built that up for over 48 rental properties and a couple commercial properties, as well as had some real good luck in flipping, right? So much so that, hey, financial freedom, I surpassed that probably about 6 or 7 years ago. But that's not, that was my mission. One thing I like to do or love to do, my passion is design. It's also business building, scaling. It's become an obsession with me. And now it's, hey, giving it back to other contractors, other remodelers, other business owners that might be struggling. I love to talk about that. And that's what I like to do. So if anything, in the business space, I love to help people grow their business. All you got to do is watch what I do. Hey, do I do everything right? Absolutely not. Not even close. But guess what? The one thing you'll always see me out there because I'll never give up. So one thing I can offer you as anybody is definitely watch me if you want to see a lot of funny stuff, a lot of little failures that turn into successes. And one of those things that you think might be hard, the next day it was that much easier. So that's what I have in that space. And as far as giving back, we do things all the time. Last week we did a customer, didn't ask for anything. All she wanted was her cabinets done. We ended up giving her cabinets. She adopted 8 people, 8 kids, with Down syndrome or different ailments, and she wasn't getting any money. She wasn't doing it for the money. She does it because she's probably the greatest person I've ever met on earth. And we sold her bathroom, and my bathroom salesman told me about her cabinets being all beat up. So we went out there, not just to sell her. We went out there. I started as that. It turned into something way bigger. I met a friend. She's super nice. She's a great person. I did her whole entire kitchen. We did all her cabinets. I got another company reach out to me on Facebook, said, "Hey Sam, I saw your story. I want to give you," and I wasn't offering nothing. I just was telling the story. "I want to give the granite for free, granite countertop for free." Another person came out for painting. Another guy that's probably friends with Dennis, actually definitely friends with Dennis. He offered free front doors. So I said, I'll just throw it in. So when you get a bunch of good people that are doing good in their business and doing good things and want to do good back, only great positive things happen.
Absolutely, folks. If you didn't walk away with some key takeaways from this one, you're missing the mark on what you're supposed to be getting out of the show. Sam, keep giving back and being the good guy you are. Appreciate everything you're doing to make America great, building the way you're building. That's a wrap on this episode of Startups with Stu, guys. If you liked it, share it, comment, and tell us more about what you want to see on the show.
Thanks for joining me on Startups with Stu. We have big goals to help millions of entrepreneurs. If you enjoyed this show, please take a minute to share it with someone else that needs to hear it, or leave a review. Remember, success is within reach for those who dare to dream big and take action. Until next time, keep pushing forward on your entrepreneurial journey.